Hi, I'm Flo and I'm Social Media Manager at Big Wave Marketing. Today I'm going to speak to you about starting up an Instagram account and how to build a following and use this to get leads for your business. Hopefully, even if you've started using social media and Instagram in particular, you'll find the content useful. So I thought I'd go back to basics and talk about social media and what it is. Social media is everywhere. Individuals and businesses of all sizes and types use it. It's a critical resource for engaging with customers, getting customer feedback, and expanding company visibility. So it refers to the content created and consumed by regular people for each other. So this could be someone commenting on an article on a website, uploading photographs to a photo sharing service, conversations had with friends in a social network or forum, and even blogs published or commented on. Is social media marketing. Social media marketing is the use of social media platforms to connect with your audience, to build your brand, increase sales, and drive website traffic. This involves publishing great content on your social media profiles, listening to and engaging with your followers, analysing your results, and running social media adverts. So why Instagram? You could use Instagram for visual marketing. It's a very visual photo sharing platform. To build brand awareness, to acquire new customers, to build a community, to connect with your existing customers, to build brand trust, to increase blog or website traffic, or just to increase your social media impressions as part of your social media strategy. Information about Instagram. Globally, Instagram has 1 billion users. Nearly 30 million of these live in the UK. The largest share of Instagram users were individuals aged between 25 and 34-year-olds. So they make up a third of global users and just over 30% of UK users. In terms of gender, it's a more female-dominated network, but there is still quite a high proportion of male users as well. And as you can see, the average time spent on the app per day is 29 minutes. So the users that are on it regularly use it a lot. So something you might hear people talk about in connection with marketing on Instagram is the word algorithm, and people trying to work with the algorithm to maximise reach and engagement on the network. As the CEO of Instagram explains here, the algorithm is basically the automated processes that are intended to ensure users see the content from both the people they follow, as well as being able to discover new things that they might be interested in. So the algorithm works by collecting signals, and according to Mosseri, the CEO, there are thousands of them. These signals can be anything from the device people use or how often you like a certain content format. There are several general sets of signals or ranking factors that are arranged in order of priority for users' feeds and stories. So this could include how popular a post is and the duration of the post of its video, how many times a user interacts with that person in the past, how many other posts someone has liked, how much you are interested in seeing posts from a particular person by engaging with them, such as leaving comments. After Instagram gathers all of these signals, the platform guesses how likely you will be to engage with the feed post, as in, will you like, will you comment, will you save the photo? The more likely they estimate you are to engage with the post, the higher it will be ranked on the feed and stories. The bottom line is that engagement is key, so it's important to keep this in mind when conducting marketing through Instagram. So let's talk about getting started with your Instagram profile. So while it can be very tempting to jump straight into setting up an account and posting on Instagram, to get the best results in the long term, it is prudent to take a step back and start to put together a plan first. It's likely to change and develop once you start using social media platforms more, but it's definitely worth getting some key details in order. So this would start with setting out a doing some audience research and setting out a target audience, setting some goals, then setting up your account, then starting to plan and share content, being social, and then looking at testing and evaluating what you're putting up to see how effective it is. So identifying your target audience is really important in social media marketing, as it affects what sort of content you'll be posting, how you'll write and present it, and even what sort of time of day you'll schedule posts for. So first of all, it's worth evaluating your existing customer base. So there are a few tools you can use to find insights about your audience. If you've got a database, you should be able to draw insights from that, but if it's their gender, their age, if they've got children, how old their children are. Facebook and Instagram both offer good insights into the audience that follows their page if you already have either of those set up. So you can access this via the Facebook Business Suite or on Instagram via the Insights button on your profile. Also worth having a look at what your competitors are up to, who they're following, who's following them, and what sort of content they're sharing to achieve the best engagement. Customer personas take audience research to the next stage. It's not a real customer, but it's the creation of a fictional person who embodies the characteristics of your best potential customers. You'll give this customer persona a name, demographic details, interests, and behavioural traits. You'll understand their goals, their pain points, and buying patterns. So having this customer persona in place allows you to craft marketing messages targeted specifically to them. Your customer persona will guide everything from product development to your brand voice to the social channels that you choose. Since different groups of people may buy your products for different reasons, you might need to create more than one buyer persona. You can't get to know every customer or prospect individually, but you can create a customer persona to represent each segment of your customer base. So after you've got your research in place and you've got your target audience nailed down, the next step would be to set some goals. So it's the time to think about what you're trying to achieve through the use of Instagram. Is it increasing membership, increasing attendance? Is it a customer service platform, or is it to engage with customers? So when we set goals, we always try and do them as SMART goals. So these are goals that are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, and they're time-based, they've got a deadline. So examples of SMART goals could be conversion, so how many people buy a course of swimming lessons from a certain post or campaign, the reach, how many people posts have reached, engagement, how many people react, comment, like or share on a post, the reaction, how long it takes to reply to a comment or message. So examples of SMART goals could be increase your engagement rate to a certain number by January 2022, to reach a certain amount of followers by a certain date, or it could be something like publishing a certain type of post every fortnight, or making sure that you're publishing something every other day, or however frequently you think is appropriate for your business. So next I'm going to talk about setting up your account. So Instagram is still primarily a mobile application rather than a website, so you'll need to download the app to your smartphone. Once your account is set up, you'll have a page that can be viewed on desktop, but the majority of your activity will take place within the mobile app. You can sign up for an Instagram account with an email address or a personal Facebook account. Once you sign up, you'll be asked to choose a username. Your username will display publicly and will be what people see when they find you on Instagram. Make sure the username you choose is recognisable and is as close to your business or organisation's name as possible, or has keywords, for example, swim school, included. When signing up, Instagram will also ask for your full name. Here, you can put your full business name, which will make it easier for people to find you through Instagram's search function. Instagram also has a bio area on each profile with 150 characters available. This is a great opportunity to describe your business to prospective customers. There are also opportunities on your profile to choose a category. Swimming instructor is listed as one. You can add your contact details, your address, and your website. People can click directly to contact you or visit your website from the app. If you have a system where customers can book sessions online, you can add an action button to link to this as well. The next step is to add a profile picture. Ideally, an Instagram profile picture will be sized at 400 pixels square. What's most important is that your profile picture is recognisable as you. In most cases, this will be your business's logo. I'll come on to Canva more later on, but if you don't have a logo, this is a great place to create one, even if it's just temporary. Your profile picture can only be updated on a mobile device. If you don't have your logo saved to your smartphone or tablet, Instagram has the option to import it from Facebook or Twitter. So next you want to start letting people know that you've got an account set up to try and grow your followers. So you can leverage your existing channels to let people know your business is on Instagram. If you have an email list, you can send out an announcement and ask readers to follow you. Also make sure when you build a website that you include links to your social media profiles, including your Instagram. Perhaps you could try a giveaway to celebrate your new account. Another way to advertise your new account is to connect with other users on the app. This could be brands, existing connections, prospective customers within your target audience, or followers of competitors. You can also follow hashtags, which is a way to see what competitors are posting or to discover new trends. So now we're coming on to actually sharing content. Instagram is at its core a photo and video sharing tool, which means the visual elements are of paramount importance. Think of your Instagram page as a reputation of your brand. When you put careful thought into the content you share and the way its look and feel matches your website and other social media profiles, your audience can tell. They appreciate this consistency and the fact that they can identify your brand through your content. Using a consistent colour and font scheme in your branded graphics is one great way to help your audience to immediately be able to tell if a post is coming from your business. I thought the Soap and Glory page was a great example of this, with even the photos in a consistent colourway and the highlights adding even more. Using the same filters on all of your photos will help to create a consistent look across your grid. You could also choose a way to lay out your grid. For example, if you have a combination of both graphics and photos, you could alternate them or post 3 of one and 3 of the other. If this is something you want to focus on, there's a tool called Later, which allows you to schedule and to see your brand, to see your grid in advance. You can consider your Instagram bio and your last 9 posts as your first impression on Instagram. Do they effectively communicate some degree of consistency through personality, filters, colours or layout? Does the clickable link send people to the same homepage every week? Or are you linking out to fun and exciting content too? The layout of your grid is an often underestimated way to get creative with the aesthetic of your feed while adding a rhythm to your publishing strategy and consistency that's worth following. In fact, many accounts that adopt this approach are often able to spend less effort on creating content by focusing on converting visitors into followers, producing text graphics or other content with a faster turnaround, and streamlining the overall production of their Instagram content. So I've already mentioned Canva, but it is a really useful tool for creating simple social media graphics. Whether this is creating a template with your logo so it's in the same place on every photo you share, or creating a template for graphics with information such as a price list or timetable, you can set this up. You can also use it both on your desktop and mobile. If there are more than one of you posting on the account, this is a great way to ensure consistency. You can either use a free version or pay a nominal fee for a premium account, which has features such as easy resize, a quick way to change a graphic from, for example, an Instagram post to a story without having to start the design again. So as I said, Instagram is at its core a photo sharing app. So obviously then having good quality photos is really important. If you've got access to professional photography, brilliant, but the quality of photos and videos that can be taken on today's smartphones are more than good enough for Instagram. You can even buy waterproof cases for smartphones if you wanted to experiment with underwater photos or just for extra protection of phones while you're at the pool. So I think it's important to really think about what's in the photo and video that you're sharing. You don't want to have random things in the background. I think keeping photos simple for them to stand out to people scrolling is really important as well. Also making sure the right part of the image is in focus, and all smartphones have pretty advanced editing features to make sure that everything on the photo is of good quality before you post it. So also just a note on consent, if you're going to be posting photos of customers, it's really important to make sure that they know that you're going to be sharing these photos and that you have explicit consent to share it on your platforms. You might gather this when you're signing people up. Have an opt-in is probably the easiest way to go about this. And then just reminding people as and when you're taking photos that they are going to be used for marketing purposes. So I thought I'd just take you through the features of Instagram, as there's quite a lot of ways that you can share content through the app. So although it's primarily a photo sharing app, there are different ways that you can share the content and engage with both your followers and also to reach out to new communities. So your grids can be made up with different types of posts to make the most of the features on offer. So on your grid, which is how we refer to the layout of photos, so firstly you can just post one photo, or you can post multiple photos in one post, otherwise known as carousels. As users are encouraged to swipe through photos in a carousel post, it can be a really effective way of boosting time spent on your post, and then that ultimately is going to up the engagement. There are 3 different ways to post videos on Instagram. You can post videos of up to a minute long in a similar way to photos, and they will just be added to your grid. If you have longer videos, you can post them via IGTV. They'll be listed on the IGTV tab, but you can also choose to add them to your grid as well. The third method is Reels. Reels are a relatively new addition to Instagram in response to the huge growth of TikTok. They are short 15 to 60 second videos that you can add stickers, you can add music, you can add more over the top. You can kind of tap into trends. Sometimes a song will be used on loads and loads of reels, and you can kind of use that on yours as well to tap into that trend. And this can be a great way to increase the reach of the video. So highlights, I mentioned them when I spoke about setting up your profile. They sit on your profile page and are a great way to share content that's there, that's easily accessible to potential customers. So, for example, you could do an FAQs highlight. You could do a slide about each type of lesson or stage, or you can just use it to pin your best content. Instagram stories are another way to be creative. Stories last for 24 hours and can include images or video. As with Reels, you can also add music, you can add polls, you can add stickers, you can add GIFs, you can add links to donate to charity. It's a great way to share time-sensitive content or to reshare content that you've posted elsewhere on the app. Also, Instagram have got a shop feature. If you sell anything on your website, you can add it to the Instagram or Facebook shop feature, and then you can tag these items in posts. The items will also appear in the shop tab of your profile. Instagram Live is another way that you can connect with your followers. Every time you choose to start a live video, your followers will get a notification to say that you're starting one. And then you'll appear as the first link on the stories menu. So it's a good way to get in front of your audience. Whoever is watching the live can also ask questions, so it can be a useful way to get customer feedback or to speak directly to your audience. And lastly, guides. They're one of Instagram's newest features, being introduced about a year ago. Initially, Instagram enabled the guides feature for a select number of health and wellness advocates in an effort to provide resources during the COVID-19 pandemic. So if you wanted to utilise the guides, you can tap the plus icon on the top right of your profile page and select guide, This is how you'd also post photos, reels, other features as well. In terms of guides, you can choose from 3 formats, either to recommend places, to recommend products, or to recommend other posts. So it can be a really good way to share inspirations, to tell stories, and provide advice or guidance. It's a great tool for brands or businesses looking to add extra context or commentary to their shoppable products on Instagram. So moving on to hashtags, a really important feature of Instagram. Instagram was created in 2010, and one of the only things really that stay consistent is the importance of hashtags. Using relevant, targeted hashtags on your posts and stories is one of the best ways to get discovered by new audiences, and this can translate into more engagement, more followers, and more customers for your business. Instagram hashtags work by organising and categorising photos and videos, so the content is shown to an audience who might be interested. So this goes back to what I was saying about the algorithm and making sure that you're doing the right things on Instagram to get in front of the audience that you want to be in front of. So the hashtags are hyperlinked, so when users click on them, they'll be taken to all of the public posts tagged with that hashtag. Perhaps even more significantly is that users can now follow hashtags that interest them, so they don't have to physically click on the tag on a post when they see it. Posts that include that tag will show on their feed when they're scrolling through. This provides them with a stream of content even if they don't follow the poster. It's a great way for users to find quality content that they're interested in and for business to expand the reach of their content. So there are popular generic tags that you'll see, things like for like, and they may get you additional engagement and likes, but I don't think they're the key to increase long-term engagement, new interested followers, or ultimately sales. If you want to tag your photos properly, you'll need to find and use the most relevant hashtags. So this means doing a bit of research, but it's pretty straightforward to conduct. But you want to make sure that you're using hashtags that not only describe your brand, but are also being searched for on Instagram. So there are different types of hashtags you could consider using. So location hashtags if you're a local business, hashtag of your ideal followers or customers, hashtags that describe what you do, what you're offering, or combination ones that are kind of a mixture of location and descriptive. So people can find you if they search for someone exactly like you. Instagram will helpfully provide you with a list of suggestions when you type in a keyword, as well as telling you how many times each particular tag has been used on other posts. For example, hashtag swim school has been used on over 93,000 posts, and hashtag swim school for kids is on 1,700. So just searching for hashtags with certain keywords can help guide you on which hashtags you're going to use. While you're able to add up to 30 hashtags on each post, the CEO of Instagram recently confirmed that between 3 and 5 was the optimum number. Hashtagging on Instagram posts is a given, but you should also be using hashtags in your stories for the chance to be seen by users who follow that specific hashtag. So you can use hashtag stickers, which can be found in the stickers menu when creating a story, or just hashtag directly in your captions for a chance to be featured in a hashtag story. Now that users can follow hashtags, your stories on Instagram have a chance to be seen by both people who are following that hashtag and anyone who's just checking it out. So next, in terms of sharing content, I think it's important to post regularly. So consistency in your post is not just important aesthetically, as I've said about using the same filter and things like that, but the way that you write your captions is a key way to build brand trust as well. There's no hard and fast rule as to how often you should publish content. However, it's better to post quality content less frequently than posting lots of things that aren't necessarily relevant just for the sake of it. But on the other hand, you're not going to grow your audience if you're not sharing content. So if you link up Instagram to your Facebook account, you're able to schedule posts and stories via the business suite. This means you can plan content in advance and don't need to worry about spending time each day thinking about populating your account. There are also third-party tools such as Hootsuite and Later, which I've already spoken about, which can assist you with scheduling. And I think an important point to make is to be social. Social media is called social for a reason, that it's a two-way communication tool. So as well as helping to get your profile out there and helping to gain followers, audience engagement can build authority and trust. So don't be afraid to like and comment on other people's content. You could even use your platform to share things that you're interested in or that you think are relevant, for example, from other local companies that might have a similar audience to yours. So next, I'm going to cover reporting and evaluation. So ultimately, you're on Instagram to reach new people and engage with existing connections to grow sales. The Insights tool, located on your profile page when you set up as a business account or content creator, allows you to evaluate your account and see what's working and what could be improved. So some metrics which can help you do this are monitoring your total reach and interactions or engagement over time. In theory, as your following grows, so should your reach. If it's not, can you look into why this is? Is there a certain type of thing that you were doing before that you're not doing? Or have you changed when you're posting? Keeping a track of the best posts so you know what your audience likes and you can post more things like this. Also, using the audience insights to ensure that your audience demographic matches who you're meant to be targeting. So Facebook and Instagram audience insights will tell you the kind of geographic reach of your audience, their age, their gender, so that you can kind of match that up to your audience personas, customer personas, and check that you are actually reaching the right people. And if it's not, then it's worth taking a look at the hashtags you're using. And also maybe consider doing some targeted advertising, because then you can really hone in on the right people and hopefully they will convert to permanent followers from seeing your advert. Also analysing the timing of your posts. Are posts shared at certain times of the day or week performing better than others? If they are, stick to those times because you know that you're going to be reaching the people that you want to be reaching. So next steps, kind of trying to build your audience even further, and just a few other tips on how you can use Instagram. So a really popular way of building pages and building audiences is doing competitions. I think it's worth doing them now and again. I think they lose their worth if you do them too frequently, but they can be a really effective way to reach new people. So one of the best kind of comments you can get, or most valuable kind of comments you can get on any social media post, is when a user tags a friend. Not only do these comments contribute to your post engagement, which in turn makes it favourable to the Instagram algorithm, but each tag brings you a new audience member who's arrived essentially through a recommendation and who you could potentially win over as a follower. So one way to encourage this behaviour is by posting relatable content that begs for one-to-one sharing. For example, you might see a meme that says, tag your friend that looks like this. But a more reliable way to get your audience to tag their friends is by running a giveaway that encourages tagging a friend and follow your account as an entry mechanic. You can also consider collaborating with other brands to make the prize more valuable, and then you can tap into their audience as well. But I would just proceed with caution a little bit. Beware of making it too complicated to enter. Tagging a friend and following is the simplest mechanic, but you might get more reach if you add in posting the competition post on their story or saving the post, but the added clicks and actions might deter people from entering. Also, just make sure that you follow Instagram's promotion guidelines and any legal requirements for running an Instagram competition. You don't want to go through kind of putting together, planning a competition and then having it taken down because Instagram doesn't allow it. But definitely something to bear in mind as a really good way of building or increasing the size of your audience. So another thing that's grown kind of in line with Instagram is influencer marketing. So this is a type of social media marketing that uses endorsements and product mentions from influencers. These are individuals who have a dedicated social following and are viewed as experts within their niche. Influencer marketing works because of the high amount of trust that social influencers have built up with their following, and recommendations from them serve as a form of social proof to your brand's potential customers. There are two types, I would say, of influencer marketing, either gifting one a product and asking them to post it in return, or paying somebody per post or campaign. With either way, it's best practice to have kind of clear guidelines in place and have a written agreement, just so that both parties know what is expected and what they want to get out of the agreement. I think there could be some opportunities in terms of building swim schools with influencer marketing if there are kind of local bloggers or people with a high profile. They might have their own business. You might be able to work with them to build your profile. So I thought I'd briefly cover Instagram advertising, just because it is a really good tool for allowing you to target your audience more precisely without the need of large expenditure. So with Instagram advertising, you can target your customer by location, by interests, by demographic, behaviours, and much more. This means that your advert's going to appear on the feeds of your exact target audience. So kind of going back to our audience personas, you can utilise that information that you've already pulled together and kind of translate that into your audience that you want to target on Facebook and Instagram advertising. And then hopefully that will increase your chance of making a sale. Instagram ads are run through Facebook, as I've just said. So to get started, you simply need to set up an advertising account on Facebook and link your Instagram account up. So Instagram ads, they appear throughout the app, include not just on feeds, but they are included in stories, they're included in the Explore feature and more. They look similar to normal posts, but always contain a sponsored label to indicate that they are an ad. They also often have more features than a normal post, such as links, click-through, call to action buttons, and product catalogues. So the cost of Instagram ads, as I've said, you don't need to start with a massive budget. It's dependent on a variety of factors. So some cost factors include how specific your targeting is, how competitive your industry is, the time of year. For example, costs are going to go up in kind of Christmas shopping periods. Placement costs can differ between ads shown on Facebook and Instagram. The best way to evaluate your budget is to set up a draft campaign in Facebook Ads Manager, and then it will show you the audience definition and estimated daily results modules, and that will give you a bit of an idea if the budget you've proposed is going to reach the desired audience within the duration of the advert that you're planning to put up. As I said, you can start advertising from as little as a few pounds a day. So you can start small and test the results, and then if something is working really well, you can add more, and ideally this would help scale the campaign. So I just wanted to finish off by talking about consistency. It's something that I've mentioned already in terms of how your page looks and how you speak and the tone of voice that you use. But yeah, I just wanted to say that it's you're going in this for the long haul. It's not something that is going to happen overnight. So you need to be consistent and you need to be patient. But there are ways of going about this. So as I've said about posting consistently, research has shown that consistency increases trust. So that's really important that your audience trusts you, and that's going to help build leads and build sales. And just have fun coming up with things, and that will show in your posts. Don't get overwhelmed by it. It doesn't have to be stressful. Most of your followers won't follow you for what you posted in the past, but for what they think you're going to post in the future. Your audience wants to know what they're going to get if they hit that follow button. Having a feed with a consistent theme and a consistent posting schedule can have just as much of an impact in growing a following as many of the other growth strategies that we've spoken about. Even a simple pattern can entice new followers as long as it's communicated at first glance to anyone who lands on your profile. So yeah, I guess parting message is to just go for it and enjoy it. And if you have any questions or need any further help and advice, that's my email address. Feel free to get in touch. And thank you for listening.